Today I'm building a planet in my survival world that will be the core of my new base and the home of my new storage room. So far, I've already destroyed every block of obsidian and endstone in the end, and I've built this railroad that follows the curve of the end portals. The planet in the center is going to be the hardest piece of this base, but it's also going to be the most important. However, before I can get started on any of that, I'm going to need some blocks. In particular, I need moss blocks, and there are two ways of collecting moss in this game. You can bone meal it and harvest it manually, or you can create an automatic system. I opted for the latter. I plan on using this moss in the planet that we're building later. I want to make the continents out of a mix of moss blocks and green terracotta. Moss farms are special in a couple of different ways. For starters, they don't require the player to be present in order to operate. Nearly every other automated farm makes the player stay nearby, but as long as you build your moss farm in your spawn chunks, it'll run forever. Iron farms work the same way, so I built a couple here as well. On top of that, moss farms are also known for producing more bone meal than they require to operate. By composting a portion of the spoils, you can restock the bone meal automatically with a profit. All this to say that once this farm is built, it will be producing moss blocks, azalea bushes, and bone meal forever without any of my input needed. If you want to take a swing at this farm for yourself, it was designed by Illmango, and I'll link his video about it down below. Keep in mind that I added some very poorly done improvisations, so base your redstone off of his video and not off of mine. And just like that, the farm is fully operational and it's churning out resources. Like I said earlier, this thing will run even when I'm in the end dimension, so there's no need to wait around here. I'll start building the planet now, and if I need more moss partway through, I'll just swing on over. With moss in hand, I was finally ready to start working on the planet itself. I'm gonna build this planet from the bottom up, starting with some snow blocks. Snow will cap the top and bottom of the planet, which is essential for the invisible entranceway that I really want this base to have. When I decided to build a planet for my storage room, several different ideas went through my mind. The first was to make a planet that mimicked one of Minecraft's biomes, or perhaps a planet where each continent is a different Minecraft biome. But something about that idea just didn't feel right. I mean, it was really cool, but it just wasn't me. Then I thought I could make a replica of a real-life planet like the Earth. I actually really like this idea. The thought of storing my items in a miniature version of the planet that I live on in real life, well, it seems fitting. But it was still a little bit off. I could tell I was getting closer though. But then the true plan came to me. I was going to build a planet based on planet Earth, with custom continents shaped by my own whims. And looking back on it, it makes sense why this option called to me. When coming up with this Minecraft base, and the one before that, and the one before that, I always had the same goal in mind. I want the base to feel like me, and to be honest, I can't think of a better representation of who I am in this game than the planet that I'm currently building. See, almost everything I build in this world is inspired by something else, whether that's a villainous angel from a television show I like, imagery from a beloved childhood game, or real-life geography that I enjoy. I try to take these subjects and not only replicate them visually, but also replicate how that individual piece of life made me feel. And this planet is the epitome of that process, taking the world around me, in this case the literal world, and twisting it to my own image of beauty. Okay, with my pretentious rambling out of the way, I want to take a second to enjoy the planet in its current state, because it's not going to stay like this for very long. Don't get me wrong, I love the way the planet looks right now, but its current state has one huge problem. It's see-through. This isn't a big issue now, but once the interior is built, it would start to look very weird and very messy from the outside. Luckily, I have a plan to fix that. But before we can get into it, I need a few more blocks. Today's resource collection challenge brings us to a frozen ocean biome. These biomes are far and away the best place to get packed ice, which is the resource that I'm after. This frozen ocean in particular is a little bit special because it spawned directly adjacent to a jungle biome, which is considered warm. Warm biomes and cold biomes tend not to buddy up like this, so it's kinda cool to see. Now, I could have gone the redstone route and made an automated ice farm like I did for moss. However, ice farms are a bit clunkier, a bit slower, and a bit less fun to build than a moss farm in my opinion, so I'm just gonna go at it with a silk touch pick. In my opinion, packed ice farming is one of the most enjoyable resource collection tasks. The blocks break instantly without the need for a Haze 2 beacon, and the sound they make when they break is just delightful. The ice is also broken up into little icebergs, so you get to see the progress you're making very clearly along the way. Now equipped with a tall supply of packed ice, I can head back to my home dimension. In case you hadn't guessed it, I'm gonna add a layer of ice on the inside of the planet. This will serve two main purposes. First, it removes the ability to see inside the base from the outside, meaning I don't have to hold back when I'm building the interior. It can be as extravagant as I want it to be. Second, the packed ice, when viewed through blue stained glass, creates a really nice watercolor, which is perfect for what we need. Laying down the first half of the ice was a breeze. In fact, it was probably the easiest part of this entire project so far, but the top half was a different story. Since there was no ground to stand on, I had to use netherrack as a temporary scaffold. It slowed down the process quite a bit, but we made it through. And just like that, the planet is finished. Well, not quite yet, we still have a lot of interior work to get done, but from the outside, it looks finished. Before I get caught up admiring our work, there's one more step I want to tackle today. Before finishing this episode, I'd like to finish the first floor of the new base interior. In total, the base is going to have 4 floors. The entrance is at the very top, so I want to have the floors descending in order of importance. That way I can minimize the amount of time spent traveling inside the base. The last time I built a storage room, I went with cyan and white. This time around, I'm going to go with white and pink. I like that both color schemes match my Minecraft skin and my channel artwork. I had 3 main requirements when building this storage room. 1, there needs to be lots of storage available. 2, the chests need to be labeled very clearly. And 3, I need to be able to reach every chest with minimal travel. The latter requirements are why I tend to avoid using automatic sorting systems for my general item storage. Item sorters are great for farm collection systems, but for general item storage, they're just not a great fit for me. And that's this room done. To conceal the entrance of the base, I filled the gap in using powdered snow blocks. This is the invisible entrance that I mentioned earlier. The powdered snow allows you to fall right through and fly right out. At the time I'm recording this audio, I've been living in the new base for a while, and I'm absolutely loving it. The next 3 floors are much more extravagant than this first room, and their purposes are much more complicated. I've already built these floors, and I'm working on the video to show them off. They include what I consider to be some of my best work in this game, so I hope you'll check it out when the time comes. Thank you to everyone who watched this video. It means the world to me that there are people out there who want to watch me play this game. I love Minecraft, I love making videos about it, and I cannot wait for the day to come when I outgrow my little planet base.